Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at GK Building. My name is Jonathan SIZEMORE, and this video is going to be about should you buy a mobile home in 2022. They call them a manufactured home in a lot of places, but I'm going to break this video down in 5 parts for you and just kind of give you my input on, because we just recently in 2021, we're wrapping up 2021. I thought this would be a great video going into the new year, and we're going to break this video down into 5 parts on should you buy a mobile home in 2022. And this is coming from me, who personally bought a mobile home or manufactured home in 2021. And I'll kind of give you the pros and cons and reasonings, and kind of give you my opinion on what you should do. And every situation I know is different. Every family has to do what they have to do, and in different areas things are different. I'm here in southeast Kentucky, so I'll be coming from that aspect. But hey, stick with us, guys. So first part of this video, guys, I'm going to explain to you that we bought a mobile home, a double wide, in 2021. Now I'll get into this a little more here, maybe in the future part of this video, but for us it came down to timing. We needed a house right then. We had sold our house that I remodeled in Stanton, Kentucky. We were moving more southeast, and we bought a piece of property. The price of lumber was out the roof due to COVID and other situations. We all know how that was, but for us it was timing. From the time we found the house, they already had it ordered. We put a deposit on it. We liked the house. We were moved in it within 7-8 weeks, something like that. And that's what pushed us over the edge instead of building a home, which I truly wanted to do on this piece of property. But we went with the mobile manufactured home due to timing. And that's why most people go with that, because it's just so much faster. But there is issues with mobile home and manufactured homes where I wish I would have leaned more towards the buying or building a house. But I wanted to explain to you first off, I'm not someone who lives in a mansion or lives in a stick-built house. This is coming from someone who actually bought a manufactured home, who actually lives in a manufactured home. So I just wanted to get into that first. So guys, part 2 of this video, there is a huge difference between a double wide and a single wide. You think a mobile home, a lot of people might come to their mind an RV that you pull behind a truck, but that's not what a mobile home is. That would be an RV. And a single wide and a double wide are completely 2 different things. You go to resell a single wide and resell a double wide, yes, it's more money up front, but in all reality, and some people may say this is not true, but in all reality, if you look at the market, the single wide will never sell or hold its value or increase in value nowhere near what a double wide will. I can tell you this from experience, because my brother-in-law and sister-in-law just sold a 1995 double wide on a 1/4 acre of ground for the price that an actual stick-built house is selling for. And I know that from experience. And you say, yeah, the market's high right now, this, that, and the other. But in my area, a double wide on a block foundation, which I'll get into that here in a little bit, it will resell to close to value of a stick-built house. And that was one reason that we went with a double wide. We knew it wouldn't be as good of an investment as a stick-built house if we were to build our house, but we knew that it would still retain some of its value and even grow in value in the future. And I know people's heads are exploding and they're screaming at their phone right now saying, no it won't, but proof is in the pudding. So if you can afford to, go with the double wide instead of the single wide. I wouldn't advise anyone, unless that's all you can afford, to buy a single wide mobile home. They just do not hold their value at all. The resale value goes down, and it's just going to be a bad investment for you. Yes, it's a place to live, and if that's all you can afford for your family, by all means buy a single wide. But if you can, go to that double wide, and like I said, here in a minute I'll get into why you should go with the double wide. Third on the list, guys, I know I teased in it in the last part of this, but third on the list is you have to convert it to real estate property. And here in Kentucky, when you buy a mobile home, you get a title for it just like it was a vehicle. And you take that title, and if you were to sell this home, it can be moved just like it, or selling like an RV or something. You just convert the title over to someone else. Well, if you have a block perimeter foundation around the house, the mobile home, and you have the axles removed from under it and you have the tongues removed, you can actually take that title in and have it converted to real estate property by surrendering the title, and it becomes attached to the piece of land that it sits on. So it's viewed as a piece of real estate instead of a mobile home on a piece of land. I hope that makes sense to you. I could go into depth in another video on that if you would like. But just take my word for it, especially if you're here in Kentucky. It may be different in other parts of the world or in other parts of America, but here in Kentucky, you can convert that to a real estate property. Now, if you go to sell it, it still shows that it's a mobile home, but it's converted to real estate, and that's just showing that this house is never going to be moved. It's stationary on this piece of land. It no longer has a title for it, so it's no longer mobile. It's a home that is physically attached to that piece of property, and it's on paperwork attached to that piece of property. And on paperwork, it's attached to that piece of property. I hope that's kind of hard to say. I hope that makes sense to you. And that is a big key to it. If you go to resell it, for them to get an FHA loan, then they can get an FHA loan on that house just as if it was a real estate property. And banks, they usually only loan 60% of value on a manufactured home on a piece of property, but you can do FHA loans up to, here in Kentucky anyways, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, up to 80% of value like you would a regular house. And that's a key factor. I did quite a bit of research into this before I purchased our manufactured home, because I'm trying to make wise investments and look forward to the future for my family. Lord willing, if we live long enough, we probably won't be here forever, so I don't want to lose money in this. I know it's giving me somewhere to live for the time being, but at the same time, I don't want to lose money in a venture. I want to live here, raise my girls here a few years, and then maybe hopefully make some money on it in the future. Alright guys, part number 4, and this is the part that I'm just going to sock it to you. The quality of a mobile home, in my honest opinion, is nowhere near the quality that I would put into building a new house or a stick-built house. I guess I should explain that. When I say stick-built, I'm talking about a house that is built on a piece of property. It's not a manufactured home. I call that stick-built. I think that's a pretty common reference. But, and I'll just go over a few things. There could be 2 or 3 videos on this. But they do cut corners when they're building these houses, for sure. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I own one. There's things they cut corners in. They make them not as cheap as possible, but as cheap as they can get by with. I guarantee you they do it. And this is a Clayton built home. And I love my house, and I thank the Lord for it, but there is some quality issues that if I were in charge of Clayton Homes that they would not do. And I could go over those, but it's nothing that will structurally affect the house. It's structurally built pretty well. But as far as quality for the price you pay, in everywhere that a common eye don't see things, they cut a corner. I promise you that. I can pick out plenty of flaws in this house that are pretty cheesy, if you ask me, or chintzy, so to speak. Things that I wouldn't do if I were building a house, or things that if you would have spent just a couple more dollars, it would have been so much better. But they do it to make money, and they do it to put as many as they out as fast as they can. And that is my number one issue with a manufactured or mobile home, is that they're just building them pretty much as fast as they can and putting a decent house to live in out on the market. We did buy the upgraded model as far as the Energy Star approved home or the Energy Smart home, so we paid a little more for ours, And it still has some corners that was cut. I mean, the cabinets in the shelves, the top of them are just plain OSB board, and you wouldn't notice that because they're very tall, unless you climbed up on a ladder. Several things I can name. The drawer slides are the cheapest drawer slides you can put in a cabinet. There's no shelves in the bottom cabinets. They're not fully made cabinets, they're just kind of made to the wall. The back door is the cheapest back door I think you can buy. There's quality issues that you will get with a mobile home, and you will have to look forward to doing repairs or upgrades sooner than you would have to in a stick-built house. And I'm not going to throw down on my house because I thank the Lord for it, but if I was to build a house on this piece of property, they are definitely things that I would have done different than Clayton Homes did on this house. Let's get into part 5, guys, and I'll kind of do more of that comparison and overview of what we went over. Part 5, guys. So this is the 5th and last part, and I'll be a little long-winded on this because I'm just going to try to give why I think, or a comparison or an overview of everything I just talked about. Now, I'm in my daughter's playroom, my 2 daughters' playroom, and our Clayton Homes Island Breeze 2021 is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. It's a nice home. I hope in the last part that I didn't just dog it to death, but it's a manufactured home. It's made on the assembly line. It's made quick. They don't go above and beyond to make things, simple things, even nice, or not nice, quality work is what the word I should use. But let's do an overview. So say you have a piece of land, you're thinking about getting a mobile home, but you have somewhere you can stay while you have a house built, or you're going to build the house. By all means, build the house. You won't regret it in the future. It'll be a better investment than a mobile home. You can design it and build it the way you want. If you have the time, have the house built. I'm telling you, the price, I'm not afraid to tell you, we paid, I think, $97,000 after it's all said and done. That's without porches, that's without the block foundation, that's just with the perimeter footers. And that's just getting it delivered and set up. I think it was around $97,000. So I could have built the house if the price of wood wouldn't have been, I don't know, 200% more than what it normally is. I could have built the house myself cheaper than that. But the reason we went with a mobile home was because of timing. Now, if you're in that same situation, that's what I'm saying. Buy a double wide. Don't go with a single wide. The single wide is only for something that you're going to live in for years and years, and you're not looking at it as an investment, or you're not looking at it as if, am I going to lose money on this deal? I just need somewhere to sleep and my family to sleep and put my head down at night. If that's what you're looking for, then buy you a single wide by all means. There's nothing wrong with living in a single wide. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make you cheap or whatever. You know, I don't know your situation, but I am saying if you have somewhere to stay and you have a piece of property and you're looking at buying a mobile or manufactured home, and if you're not in a time crunch, the time crunch is where they get you. They know they can have you in a house. Well, today it's a little bit crazier than used to, but used to, you could go on a lot, pick a house out, they'd have it set up in a couple weeks after the paperwork process was done. So you could be in a house in a couple months. And it happened like that for me just because we found a place where they had one coming in. He showed us one they had on their lot like it that was already sold. We gave them a down payment, said we liked it. We needed it then. We were staying with in-laws while where we'd sold our house in Stanton. We were in a time crunch. Now, I'm trying to make as wise of I'm trying to make the best decisions I can in a time crunch to look down the road in my future and not make a bad investment. Spend a little time, think about it. If you have to, by all means, mobile homes are good. I mean, it's a good house. I love my house. But at the same time, unless you're in a full-blown time crunch, I would say go with a stick-built house if you can. But there's nothing wrong with a mobile home. I like my house a lot, and it was quick and fast and easy. I went in, found a salesman, found the house. We did some paperwork. They came and set it up. It was pretty simple. Now, if that sounds good to you, get you a mobile home.